Hello everyone, it is Joe here from Omnipoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. If you're looking for PTCGO codes, including the stuff from Lost Origin, make sure you check out the Potown store. You can get a 5% discount on your orders using that code Omnipoke. For today's video, we are going to be looking at a one prize Lost Zone box, and this one is going to be playing Mirage Gates. There's already a list on the channel which is based around the Radiant Charizard coming in as that late game beat stick, but this time we're going to be used one of the big payoff cards from this Lost Zone engine, going to be this Mirage Gate, allowing us to accelerate two different basic energy from our deck to our Pokemon in any way that we like. This allows us to take full advantage of Radiant Greninja, a similar way that the Palkia V-Star decks are able to use that Moonlight Shuriken and burst it out of nowhere. We can do a very similar thing with a turn attachment of a water, and then the Mirage Gate of a water plus a Psychic Energy in this case. We can get a Moonlight Shuriken ready to go in a turn once we have 7 cards in our Lost Zone or more, which is excellent because Radiant Greninja, as we know, is a fantastic card that's taking out one prize Pokemon that have lower hit points, or just finishing off things we've previously damaged. So yeah, very, very strong card here. And having this concealed cards really helps in those early stages for drawing throughout the entire game. So we're actually really happy to see the Greninja in here to give this deck maybe a slight consistency buff over the Radiant Charizard build, where although we are making spaces for switch cards, they're so useful because they're extra draw potential with Radiant Greninja, but they're also extra retreat cards for your Comfey engine, which is flower selecting the entire game, moving in between these cards, making sure we get as many activations of the flower select as possible to cycle through the deck. Sometimes filtering bad cards can be an upside for us, and at the same time we are filling up that Lost Zone, which is also important, not just for the Mirage Gate, but also some of the other attackers we have in here. The Cramorant, of course, can attack for free when we have 4 cards in the Lost Zone, so this is normally the early game tempo card we look for. That Spit Innocently doing 110, very good threshold, especially when we weave in the likes of Choice Belt, which we play a high count of here as well. And then we have the sort of latest game option, the Sableye. We have 2 copies. Once we get 10 cards or more in our Lost Zone, we can place 12 counters around our opponent's Pokemon in any way that we like. This card is unbelievably flexible. The more and more I play with the Sableye, the more I am blown away by the card. It's so good at mopping up other engine Pokemon, clearing the way of Manaphy as well, so your Radiant Greninja can do its best work is really important. And just being such an efficient card that we can cycle in this deck is just incredible. We've also got 1 copy of Snorlax in here as an attacker that just has that higher damage threshold. Having this thumping snore does 180, which means we can 2-shot V-Star Pokemon with this card pretty easily with the thump into the Cram, or vice versa. We can take 2-shot knockouts with our 1-prize Pokemon. Belting up the Lax can even give us a better damage output potential, where we can get to the 210, and then we can finish things off with Radiant Greninja and maybe take an extra prize on a little guy elsewhere. So very, very nice numbers with the Snorlax. Just hits just high damage thresholds. That's really all it is. At the same time, you have 150 hit points, so if we're in mirror match situations and the opponent is choosing to use escape ropes to get extra activations from their Comfeys, or trying to get their Cramorant into the active, we can try and block a prize from them by physically having 150 hit points and being out of range of a Spit Innocently. It could be a way that we gain a free turn as well, so having high hit points annoying for mirror and good enough damage output to help deal with some V-Star Pokemon is really important. Really like the Snorlax option when you're playing the Mirage Gate build. Outside of that, we play our own Manaphy because we have to be, again, aware of mirror matches, but also Palkia, and all sorts of spread going on right now, even things like Aqua Bullet, because we have such low hit point stuff around our board. Zigzagoon makes our Sableye even more flexible. This Lost Mine going from 12 counters to 13 or 14 if we're netting the Zig can be really important on Comfeys, on Manaphy's, that sort of thing. So very strong there, giving us extra potential. It also means that we have Zig net in the early stages, so the Cramorant can actually get through Regis, which is kind of important, almost acting similarly to Articuno in some of the sort of quad Cram lists that have been going around. The Zig has that flexibility option for us when we need to, and that's a really great thing to have in the deck list, so that we are keeping pace with the Regis in the early game, and then as we get towards the sort of mid-game, we can use Sableye over and over again, which is always a nice way to target down the individual pieces and force them to have lots of resources around their board, so that's always really cool. And we are playing a Guru in here as well. I like this as a supplementary card. It's a great way we can bank supporters on the top of our deck to protect against Marnie in like Arceus decks, for example. It's also a great way to guarantee that Flower Selects get rid of a bad card. And that means if we draw into VIP passes in the mid to late stages, we can just bin it off with the Flower Select. That's always really nice. Even excess Pokemon or whatever that aren't important for the matchup, some of the switching cards, etc., they can find their way into the Lost Zone, guaranteed by the Wisdom. Another low-key help is because we are playing Mirage Gates and we have fairly low counts of our basic energy, just 3 and 4 respectively here. We can make combinations happen, like using Training Court to bring back one of these cards, then Wisdom it back to the deck, then Mirage Gate it straight back out. So there's a lot of reasons why the Guru has a lot of synergy here. Onto the trainers then, and the majority of the items are firstly Search and Recovery. We have the VIP Pass for all of our Pokemon needs. You really want to get as many Comfey out in the opening stages as possible so you can start dancing them happily with all the switch outs that we then have. We have the ropes, the nets, the switch carts, giving us a little bit of extra healing as well that can be relevant in Mirror when people are lost mining your stuff. And because everything's a basic, it's just a strict upgrade to the physical switch card you would otherwise have, as well as Air Balloon. And again, we have captures as well as some basic energy to give us some extra physical retreat outs with our Comfey, because they all have that 1 retreat cost. So lots of ways to find Comfey with the captures, the VIP Pass, and the Fog Crystals I should mention as well. These can get energy as well as Sableye and Comfey. Very, very versatile card to have a couple copies. And we have the Heavy Ball to get the number of one-offs that we have out of the deck. Even some of out of the prize cards, even things like the Sableye, the Cram, these are important 2 and 3 counts. We have the Ordinary Rod to try and help recycle these. We choose Rod over something like Clara in this instance, where the Zard list prefers Clara. Ordinary Rod is much more important here, so you can Mirage Gate immediately as a combination going on here. Training Court, obviously amazing for the Greninja, but also for cycling your Sableye pretty easily by just getting the attachment straight back each turn. We have 4 Colress, which is certainly the main supporter, but I'm running a couple key one-offs as well. Even though we have a ton of control over our opponent's board with Sableye and Radiant Greninja, I still find one boss to be pretty handy, especially into like V-Star matchups. If we are doing the Cram into Snorlax play, if we're doing Belted Cram twice over to deal with 2 prize Pokemon, the boss's orders can give you that little bit of help here and there, and gives you maybe a little bit more license to get rid of a Rod or a Sableye. You'd really try not to, but it does give you a fallback plan if you really must. Irida is actually a surprising supporter. I've floated between this and Birdkeeper, actually. I kind of like Irida just because, again, it gives us early outs to certainly Radiant Greninja, but also Cramorant to an extent. It's an extra way into VIP Pass, which is no bad thing, and it's just guaranteed pivoting options. And at the same time, things like Ordinary Rod, you know, these are really important cards to find at the right time to combine with Mirage Gate to make sure we have the strongest turn possible. And the deck really does lack tutor. You're just trying to dig deeper into the deck the entire time. Having at least a card that can get you a specific card at times is a nice thing to have. So Irida is my placeholder card that could become a Birdkeeper, could become a Marnie, could become a few other things. Even a Pokegear could end up being the better use of this card. So if you have anything floating, it would be the Irida that would be my sort of first questionable card. But I think it makes sense in my head at least a little bit right now to have instant tutor for one of these combo pieces, which is really nice for the deck. And then I'm playing the Roxanne as well for some disruption. I think specifically because Sableye is so good at dealing with Bibarrels, Comfeys, Sobbles and Drizziles, having this hand disruption whilst also lost mining away engine pieces throughout the game, but also on the turn you Roxanne, it means that it's at maximum effectiveness, essentially, which is really good to see. It's not like it's easy for us to tank with anything, but maybe we can stop our opponent attacking altogether if we just stop the drawing cards and give them only a 2-card hand. We have the Air Balloon, but also lots of like energies to retreat our Comfeys. The high count of Choice Belt is also a debate. I've been as high as 4, and I really like the tempo that a belted Cram gives you in a ton of matchups, but ultimately there's a lot of matchups where early game you're hitting into 1 prize Pokemon anyway, and you're roping so much in this deck as well that your opponent's giving you targets, and sometimes they will not be V Pokemon either, so you don't get the maximum effectiveness of Belt, but I still love it as a higher damage threshold option because we play so much with counters that anytime you get a bit of extra damage on the field, just gives you more to be flexible with later with Lost Mine. So I just love buffing this damage output from what is otherwise like a fairly mid-range sort of attacker. So that's really what we're looking for here. Captures just for earlier outs into the ton of Comfeys to get selecting, but I could easily see you shimmying these counts around. I've definitely played with a 4/4 count of these energy, even higher at times, but right now I still like having some extra search. You could also definitely think about the likes of Level Ball coming into this list, because it does have good variety with Manaphy access, with Sableye access, Comfey, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. I'm sure there are more extravagant ways to play the Mirage Gate build, but this is the one that I think is A, pretty strong in mirror, which is obviously very important, but B, with just a few attackers, is still versatile enough, in my opinion. So let's get some games in. It's a deck that I am putting a lot of time into and am a big fan of. Obviously, we are terrified of Empoleon, especially 2 copies, but outside of that, we should be okay, he says. Let's see how it goes. Let's jump into some games. Our hand is already excellent, so that's great news. We have an interesting choice of capture energy, whether we want to pitch it with Radiant Greninja or not. So the guaranteed select would allow me to retreat and then net the next guy. Looks like we're up against a Zoro deck as well. Oh, they're just going to concede straight away. Great. Great for a video. Love that. Let's get into another game. I actually think against Zoroark, we unironically are very favoured. If it's the quad DTE build, we're exceptionally favoured. They naturally damage a lot of their stuff to put things in range of like belted crams or just make the Sableye that much more effective. So as long as they don't play Sableye and Melanie, as long as they don't play Empoleon Melanie, we should be rocking most Zoro matchups. Let's get into another game though. You'll have to take my word for it, unless we face another Zoroark today. This hand is also pretty strong. We, again, have a couple guaranteed Comfeys with the Fog and the Select. I can retreat, I can net, I can see a lot of cards here already, which is really good. This is definitely a deck where you are going to have to keep track of resources. Got to keep track of your discard pile, your lost zone, and your deck, and your prize cards at the same time. So this is a bit of a headache of a deck, that's for sure. I think the Zard list is certainly more easy to pilot, because we can just be so dang flexible with this list. Decisions become more and more difficult as you go, essentially. And straight away we're faced with a decision. We want to find... Well, we don't really need to find any other Comfeys, because I think 2 is fine with net. So I think I'm allowed to play Fog, and then we'll select. Also, playing the Fog Crystal first allows me to search my prize cards, which is also very important. So that's looking pretty good. I don't have my Manaphy, which could be important if I'm up against Mirror or... what's it called? Palkia or something like that. We do have both Rod. We have all 3 gates because one is in hand. That's really good. We have all 3 Psychic Energy. Have all 4 Water Energy. I've prized Boss. And no, Roxanne is here. Good amount of Switch cards. 2 of these. So 1 Comfey, obviously. Gonna have a good look because it's definitely worth it in this case. So much we need to keep track of. Let's start by selecting. So we have both Sableye and all energy. So let's keep a Sableye. And let's net. The reason to take energy there would be I could capture out Greninja. Let's go VIP Pass. Now we can get Greninja and use the capture to draw cards instead. Definitely like Greninja. If I am going to... What's my other option? My other option is just attach, retreat, and select again, I guess. So I guess I do this. Possibly just this. Getting overcommittal with the Guru with no actual good targets to put in yet. So yeah, I think I go getting another Comfey here. Let's get Comfey 3. Let's retreat and select. Probably need this Rod. Over energy. So 3 already in the bin. Board space for whatever I want. Probably going to put another Comfey down unless it's a... in case it's a mirror. Definitely a debate to put down Snorlax because it's mirror, but because I have no switch cards in hand, doesn't really make sense. So probably just Comfey down. If they do rope, I probably just have to give them a Comfey. It's always nice if you can give them a Greninja and sort of call their bluff and have make them have damage buffs like Zigzagoon and other players like that. And it does look like we're in a mirror of sorts. So Hisuian is definitely a colour I need to find quickly because I need my own Manaphy. Basically. Regardless, they're going to switch cart. Also, Scoop Up Nets are vitally important in the mirror because we're both going to be at a position where we're going to be lost mining each other. Hopefully I can save my nets for A, damage things that they are not yet finishing off, or my own Zigzagoon to pump my own damage to deal with these little treats over here. So that's going to be the back and forth. Trying to keep track of all sorts going on. They've already got rid of Clara. Because they play Pokestop, they are likely playing Palpad. Pokestop not something that I really want to press the button on too often here. There's definitely some things that can go wrong. There is so much thing as too many energies in our discard pile. Don't really want to force my hand too quickly on stuff. So they have already got to 4. So they will be launching the first attack here. So they are going to have a bit of an advantage on us. If I go into Greninja now because I have Pokestop, I can probably get away with this line. Because even if I mill an energy, I'm allowed to court and draw. So this is my best way of trying to deny an easy prize from them and not going behind in the race. Alright, so I think I just hit the button here. Alright, we find switch card. That's not too bad. 1 Sableye and 1 energy in the prize cards. Sorry, in the discard pile. So I can switch card into Comfey, Flower Select, and possibly pay retreat if I have to with Training Court. And then I'll be at 4, so that's looking pretty good. Obviously still ideal if I actually net this Greninja at some point, but... so Colress gets me way deeper, but this would be my... Yeah, I guess it's Colress. I'm not allowed to Lost Zone any more Psychic Energy, though, that's for certain. This will be the Colress. Definitely want Hisuian, definitely want Net. Rope is kind of good, actually, because Manaphy or Comfey are both better outcomes than the Cram. Don't need the energy because I can always Training Court and draw with Greninja here. So probably Rope. So that gets me to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven and Gate, but I don't want to Gate just yet. I could Gate to Snorlax, but it doesn't seem that good. I think I just want to Rope and Spit here. And obviously get my Manaphy out. They probably just give me a Comfey here. Do I want to draw 2 cards with Training Court and deny them Pokestop? Probably, honestly. I give them a pay retreat option. But I guess that's not too big of a deal. Not as big of a deal for me to get this back and get 2 cards for free. I probably should have done this stuff before doing my Rope, honestly, but... and I like banking a capture while I can before they get to enough to Lost Mine so I can get a pay retreat in. Here, this is at 50. I don't think it's easy for them to get to 10, so I'm not going to net just yet. They're only at 4. And I've just denied Pokestop. We'll see, though. The mirror is honestly going to be a ton of fun and a ton of headache because there's a lot of intricacy going on. there's a lot that they can keep concealed from you as well, and you don't quite know what sort of list they're playing until they just drop something in Mirage Gate onto it as well. So that's always a bit of a concern. I haven't seen any indication yet what sort of build they are in terms of if they play Greninja or if they play Zard. I would imagine if they're a Pokestop build, they play Zard though, because having so many basic energy in the Mirage Gate build just makes the Pokestop less live. And I'm pretty sure the Court gets higher value. Alright, so we took the first prize. They are at 7 now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I probably definitely need to net my Greninja. Okay. Alright. Let's start with a select. That's a really good select. Okay. So I think I am retreating, netting into Comfey. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let's retreat this into this. Take cart. Carting up to 80 sounds... sorry, yeah, back up to 80 sounds good. Cart my way to 80. So, sorry, net Comfey, cart the Radiant Greninja. But it would have to be into Snorlax. 1, 2, 3, 4... 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Why is there not a counter? Do I want to get any Greninja activations? Because I could always Mirage Gate to a Sableye if I wanted to. I think this is what's going to have to happen. So I will do this. I'll do this. I will Ordinary Rod. I have 3 Psychics, right? So I don't actually need to play the Ordinary Rod. I had them all in the deck. Let's play the net quickly. Am I just going to cram this and keep the Lax in play as an option instead? It's a real bummer that I didn't get to the full amount here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, I could do with Irida, right? It's just expensive. Alright, let's play Irida. So now I go here. That's really bad. Okay. 2 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have to net here. I'm spending so many nets, it's so bad for me to be missing on Colress here. Net here. This gets me to... not another water energy, please. I need 2. I simply need 2. That's the rules. So that's a shame. But it means I can at least Sable Guy here. And we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1. Here, and here. So this is the best way to be like non-committal but still relevant damage, right? I'm putting the Sableyes down to 60 each. They certainly don't want to net them up because they've got Psych Energies on. They would much rather switch cart between Comfeys than Sableye's. So I've tried to make it as awkward as possible. I've got a Lax down as well to try and make their ropes more awkward, but they're probably getting to 10 themselves here. They're at 8. We are going to see a net of a Comfey. I probably should put the 1 here, because then they would have to net the Air Balloon. That was a 1 damage counter mistake. They straight away recovered their Manaphy. Oh, they played double Manaphy. Okay, really respecting that mirror. Fair play. How many nets have they been through? 1 in their zone, 1 in our zone, 1 played, and we've played all of ours, so I'm feeling a little behind even though I'm a prize ahead, because they can just do so much more with Zignet Burst and prize denial potential as well. So I'm a little bit concerned here, not gonna lie. They're playing a heavy Echoing Horn build. But they do just Cramorant me, which is way better than I was expecting, because now I don't have to recycle a Manaphy, which is good. And it means I can probably just, honestly, boss spit this. What's better? I mean, obviously making Sableye again would be better. Alright, let's go make Sableye, shall we? Let's do this. I have Training Court, so I just do 1. I don't have any nets anymore, so I have to do this. I'm not allowed to Guru or anything else here. If I'm going Sableye route, I can Colress here. Alright, it's just these. Alright, so we're losing water energy as well, which sucks. But Sableye is just so important, I just have to do it. Do this. Do I want to Flower Select still? I think I have enough turns, especially if I Roxanne. I think I can still go lower here. This comes down, this goes down, this goes down. We'll play this, we'll grab back the water. We're not getting much value out of these gates, but the mirror match is really weird, so... We're just going to keep dealing with their Sableyes, make it harder for them to deal with our Sableyes and our board. There's definitely a temptation for me to leave one of the Sableyes there and go Manaphy plus counter on one of these. Maybe it was better. I think it's close. I think it's close. They play triple Sable. Oh, baby. Alright, they have Zigzag nets now, so they can take out both Comfeys in a turn. They could go Comfey Manaphy. But no, they're going double Conf. And Roxanne. It's a strong line from them. It does let me to continue to Sableye though, which is really weird. Alright, they bounce. Oh, they don't even deal with... Yeah. So in the end, they just feel it's better to stop me Sableying. Makes sense, I guess. Right. Is it correct for me to gate out any energy here? I just have 1 water energy, right? So that's all I have. 3, 1, 1. I guess I should just keep this around for Greninja draw, honestly, at this point. Let's do this. Let's do this. Roxanne is the best play if I only need to cram twice, which is all I need to do, right? Cram hits, just draw a hand with Roxanne. I have another cram in deck. Yeah, I guess it's just cram. Sableye doesn't win me the game any faster than a cram at this point, so we've done our business. We'll just Roxanne them back, hit them with a cram, try and hit them with a cram again, and say that's the game. So I will fail this. I can even switch card if I want to. I can try and thin an extra card. Shall I just keep it around? Yeah, I should keep it around probably. I think I just keep everything, honestly. Does anything in my deck matter at this point? Not really. Boss is kind of like my best card. I guess Training Court's an okay card to not mill. I've drawn my cram, so I don't need any other Pokemon. I guess I can hit this. Yeah, it's probably not worth it. I guess Training Court was like one of the only bad outcomes, right? But here we are. We're a little bit ahead. Just a little bit. Just enough, some say. We took the first prize by denying with Radiant Greninja early. We set up the Sableyes that they didn't want to try and switch cart or heal. So there's a lot of intricate math actually in this. Yeah, it is a Zard build. This is the biggest thing they can make. It actually, the weakness doesn't matter because it's not affected by weakness. So it's actually the right play from them to do this. The Zard is certainly a strong card in multi-prize matchups. There's no doubt about that. But this is just game on the spot, right? So, Sableye did its nasty business, basically. And a nice win. And I do think we're... Even though this list was playing double Manaphy, which meant that I didn't take out a thingy at any time, didn't use Greninja at any time, I think we're mildly favoured in Mirror. Just because at any point, if there's not a Manaphy in play, I can just go Gate and basically win immediately with a 1990. Because the 1990 is essentially doing like all these Zignet plays, but then I keep Zignet for other turns, / have Zignet myself to heal damage. So really got to keep track of those switch carts and nets in Mirror. That's kind of like the big takeaway. If anything, if you want to take anything away from that last game, switch carts and nets are vital in the Mirror. Can't wait to come up against someone and complain about them playing the 4th switch cart for the Mirror. Happy to see this hand get mulliganed. Get back in the deck, you silly. We are going second, so really, yeah, we see Colress early. You love to see that. We have Wisdom as well. Happy to lead Wisdom, honestly. He's a good dude. Alright, it's going to be Palkia Kyurem. Now, this can certainly be a deck that does play Empoleon, so we have to keep our wits about us here. And it's definitely a deck that could also play Greninja, or will be playing Greninja. So we probably want to keep Manaphy and VIP Pass some chaps out here. And those chaps are going to be Comfey Frog, then Fog Crystal Comfey. Let's have a look at some prizes. So I have prized a, not Sableye, a Comfey. Have all of these. Prized a VIP. Prized a net. Prized a gate. So really have to be careful of gates. Prized, yeah, nets, like I said. And we have all of our energy. And I prized a belt, which is a good card. Okay. Let's do this stuff. Let's get our Comfey out. And let's play the Colress. Want, I think, is this order. So I can go select, rope, select, rope again, select. Sorry, switch cart if I want to as well. Do I need to Sableye in this matchup? I'm thinking of just having the energy to draw more cards here to actually get a Cram attack off. I can maybe be a bit greedier in this matchup because attacking with Crams are actually really good here. Attacking with like Cram and Lax is pretty strong. I think I can get away with this. Let's draw 2. And let's rope. Trying to think if there's anything I want to wisdom yet, and everything's good right now. So let's just select. Capture Energy is really good for me. We have all of our psychics, right? So I can bin this pretty happily. It means I can pay retreat into a Cram here, because we'll be at 4 after this switch carts. Do I want to have 140 on the Palkia instead? Yes, I do, because that's good maths. So let's get this guy back into the active. It's also got the energy on already, so it's more likely that I can Cram into Cram in the matchup. Let's get rid of the VIP. Because they're probably just going to swing with it, right? Here comes a belted Cram. Here comes a Manaphy. I think I'm just wisdoming switch cart, honestly. So I have pivots. And let's hit him for 140. Lots of early tempo. The perfect 4 in the zone early. They have seen the indication that we play gates because of water energy. Roll the region! Alright, we're in great shape. Collapsed. Okay, collapsed is actually a little bit awkward for us to deal with, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. It means that I'm not allowed to boss around here, because they can just get rid of this Palkia, and that would make me really sad. Because I want my damage, so I guess I just take my prize cards. It's definitely a suffering from success problem, a first world problem. I guess I will be using Irida this turn. And I guess it's a good opportunity to grab Balloon. I am not at 7. I'm not advancing any of my things, to be fair, at the minute. But this looks good. I think I just proactively do this on Comfey. There's no way he's gusting a Comfey to hit it, right? There's just no world that happens. Let's bank the switch cart back on top. No, let's bank a Cram. All 3 are in hand, I guess. Hand or board. Alright, 2 prizes up. It's a good start. It's a real good start. I'll take that start. Tempo good. Hand good. A VIP pass, finally something I can wisdom away. But if they collapsed proactively, like without using it as a healing style option. Oh, wow. I think they're conceding. Yes. Okay. They've bricked. Alright, let's get... what time are we on? Let's get another game in, I guess. Yeah. Is there time? Well, I've said it now, but we're a long, grindy one-prize deck. So, this is going to be a long video. Uh-oh. The algorithm is shaking its head at me right now. But I just want to play this deck because it's so much fun. It's using my head. It's using my heart. It's everything I want in a deck. I've not been hit by an Empoleon yet. so I haven't been sad. There's a lot of reasons to like this deck. Man, the Lost Zone engine is just so fun. It's insane. I don't want to use the word Zap Beasts, but it feels very... you know what I mean? It feels very... It's Zap Beasts, is what I'm getting at. Okay. Radiant Greninja could mean all sorts of things. Well, that limits it down a bit. Vikavolt is something that is terrifying for me. So we need to try and get to 4 this turn as quickly as possible and swing with Cram and have other Crams in play so that Paralyzing Bolt is not an issue for me. That's everything I need to do. Simple. Do I want more Pokemon in my flower selects early? No, I want VIP passes and supporters. Okay. Right, Sableye are here. Snorlax is going to be really good here. If I can belt it proactively, they're done. They're done. Actually, that's not true because I can't Mirage Gate. So they're not done. They're fine. Right, we need all of these. Give me these. These are really good. So I can draw as many cards as possible this turn and make the most out of my items and win just based on those. Okay, good idea. Right, 4, 5, 6. Okay, belts aren't important. These priced Irida, that's absolutely perfect. My only search for Cram under item lock. Not a problem, not a problem. Can't see how that's a problem. Gonna want my Guru so I can mill my items constantly with my flower selects as well. That's another thing that I want to bear in mind, but I don't want to get trapped. I'm saying a lot of things out loud because I'm panicking because I'm staring down a Vikavolt. That is awful! Okay, let's take a Psychic Energy. Very good, very good, very good. Let's do this. Give me this. This has to go. That's one way to find a Cram. Let's do this. Let's do this. How good is Training Court? Does draw me cards. They also have Mirage Gate Greninja plays, so I also have to get Manaphy down. How much do I like roping aggressively? Do they bring me this? I guess they have to bring up this, because they don't want to move this. I just want to see as many cards as possible, and I guess rope is the best way to do that. The court would be good for later, but it's just not a luxury I can afford right now. Also, I'm not flower selecting to pull a Cram. Maybe I should pull the Cram out of the deck now. Because it's not a supporter card. Okay, good. I was thinking I always wanted Cram to be a searchable target, but I just have better cards right now. Like, not more energies. I need the Roxanne. I kind of need it. It's kind of good when I can't draw cards the conventional manner. Let's retreat and then play the rope and then hit whatever we hit. Okay. I still have Greninja draws as well, which I probably should have been doing first here, to be honest with you. Let's do this. That's kind of good. Is that me at 4 as well? Yeah, I'm at 4. Okay, I have the rope to hit things. I have this. I really, really want it to be my Manaphy, but it's prized anyway, so I can't protect around Mirage Gate. Cool. Maybe they only play Water Energy for Melanie and don't play Mirage Gate package. That could also be the other thing that's rooting around in my mind that I've forgotten about, so maybe it's all okay. I am thinking at 1 mile an hour right now, and that is way too fast for me. So let's just do this. Do I want to play the rope again? Because, in theory, putting this 10 off is better than putting this 20 off, right? That's the... It makes sense in my head. Also, I could proactively rope. It sounds so... Sorry, rod. It sounds so silly, but it's probably correct. Let's play the rope. Okay. And let's hit. Well, at least we have a few turns where Cram is ready to do its thing. I've drawn a lot of cards. I can still see more cards with Radiant Greninja. Corals can bin items at this stage. It is a Melanie build, okay, so I don't have to worry about Mirage Gate. as much. As soon as I see Waters and Greninja, I'm like, Mirage Gate, they can burst me. I need to keep at least a Water Energy in hand to have a pivot option if they try and trap me. I'm also terrified of them having Galamines. So let's see how that plays out. The good news is Vikavolt can't hit for Toffee, so that's good. It does hit for weakness, though, so they do need to get another Zapdos down. No, they don't. I can't count. It does 50 base. Do I want to see more cards with a Comfey? Probably, because I don't have a supporter. Okay, that's actually not bad. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's see 2 cards. Let's get our hit in. Alright, it looks bleak right now, but it's actually... I mean, it's quite bad, but it's not that... It's quite bad. It's not unsurmountable. The Marnie, honestly, could be one of the best things that could have happened to us. Let's see what's on the other side of this hand. Well, it's a Colress. That's something. I guess when I roped, I just wasn't meant to hit. I was meant to just go into a Comfey and save my crams just for hitting exactly these dingbats. I'm learning, okay? I knew I was right to panic. I guess I can't attack this turn. Unless I hit a basic energy here. Ooh. That's like a basic energy, but good. Spicy. Alright, it's cram number 3. I'm throwing it in the ring. It's all down to Sableye from now. So let's see what you got, Sableye. Really hope the training court stays. That would be good. Also thinking about the bird keeper that I could be playing right now and how it would be great here. So that I could actually weave in my Sableye more safely. Knew I should have ended the video early. Drapion even coming into play. There is simply no respect being shown right now. Simply none. All right, this is bad. This is bad. This is really not good. Two items? Get out of town. Feel like the game is falling away from us, especially if they can bench a Zapdos here. They're going to get some Greninja draws, some Speed Lightning draws. Like, this deck is cool and all, but it doesn't beat anything other than us, right? It must do... Surely it does badly into Tina, and surely it does badly into... Well, I guess it's okay into Mew because of this. But it just has no win condition against Arceus decks, right? Definitely someone's seen way too many of our deck on the ladder and just decided to take it out on us, but... I don't think Vikavolt good overnight. Maybe... I mean, maybe. Maybe. If there's enough of me and my kind, perhaps. We hit Psychic and Sableye, that's pretty much best outcome. Don't Zapdos bench. Oh no. Ooh. So what are they digging for? What the... Ooh. I really want the Sableye to stay in my hand, though. That's the thing. Let's go like this, so I have the option to 12. If I can't one-shot Sableye, I'm actually in a good spot, right? Oh my goodness, we're gonna win. Don't say it. Why'd I say it? Okay, right, let's attach here. No, yeah. Let's just bank Roxanne on top, because I don't want to play it yet, because I still need to bench this Sableye next turn. And let's take our 2 prizes. I need to somehow get access to Psychic Energy again. They are cycling through their deck. Uh-oh, Zigzagoon. Zigzagoon is very scary. How many nets have they played? They've only played 2 nets. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong. One more net and we're toast. Ah, Super Zap. Yeah, one more energy and we're toast. Alright, they got us, they got us. Yeah. That seems like a really bad matchup. It's a deck crafted just for me, I guess. Just for this matchup. I also think just me not hitting with the Cramorant for no effect there was the best thing to do. And I just threw a Cramorant away, basically, which feel like, honestly, if we hadn't done that, we probably would have been in okay shape. But yeah, that is the Cram deck. Obviously very worried about item lock, as well as Empoleon. So let's hope to dodge those things, cross our fingers. I didn't use Mirage Gate once either, which is so upsetting. But that's just how it goes sometimes, you know. Sometimes, you know, one was a mirror match where things get weird all the time and you're constantly reacting to your lost zone, their lost zone, your board, their board, your hand, their hand, etc. And it's just how it is sometimes. But having those high energy cards and just using Greninja throughout the game already shows its value, right? And Snorlax was still a factor in the game because it made their ropes weird and stuff like that. So there is hidden value to these cards, and they really are stars of the show when you can clear Manaphy's off the board, get full Greninja value, and when we're up against more multi-prize threats where the Snorlax really comes in clutch. For example, against that Palkia Kyurem that bricked, had I been able to do like belted Lax or Cram combos into the Kyurem, it would have been really, really good. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below of this archetype. How do you prefer your Lost Zone box? Do you prefer Greninja or do you prefer Zard? Gates, no gates? What supporters are you playing alongside your Colress? Because we saw a little bit of action for most of them here. Irida did come in at times. It wasn't quite as instrumental as I would have liked, but that's also down to the fact that A, we were item locked in one of our games, but B, we didn't have an opportunity to Rod and Gate at the same time, right? And that's often what we're looking for. We want this combination to be accessible. The Irida acts as a go-between of these two cards, whilst also being like an okay fallback if you don't have Colress in the opening stages. So I'll hear your thoughts down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video tomorrow. Cheers.